What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Batman The Dark Knight Returns Armored Batman. Now, I am really happy that I finally had this figure in hand. The moment I heard he was announced, I could not have got any more excited for this guy. And I actually found him. He's actually the first one I found of this line. He does come with the collect and connect pieces for the New 52 Doomsday. You can see his head and his lower torso right there. He does come with the sound gun, which is really awesome. On the side we have this really beautiful artwork, remaking of Frank Miller's work. It says Batman The Dark Knight Returns Armor Batman. Real name Bruce Wayne. Base of operation Gotham City. After 10 years in retirement, Batman returns to take on the violent mutants plaguing Gotham City. If you're familiar with the graphic novel, he did wear this armor to fight Superman, so I don't know why they didn't mention that at all. However, it does give you a little bio of the DC Comics multiverse, but other figures of this line include Armored Batman, Carrie Kelly Robin, Prison Suit Lex Luthor, the CW Supergirl, Mutant Leader, and Superman Doomed, or Super Doom. And then we have an image of the New 52 Doomsday right here. Cannot wait to get him finished. I just love Doomsday as a character, so really looking forward to this entire line. But anyway, that's Armored Batman for you. So what I'm going to do now is take him out of the packaging, and then we'll go on to the rest of his review. So sit tight, everyone. And here we have Armored Batman posed and out of the packaging. Before we get on to the figure itself, let's actually show off his collect and connect pieces that he comes with. He does come with the lower torso and the head of Doomsday. Well, the New 52 Doomsday. Don't have any other pieces for Doomsday right now, so we're just going to hold these guys off to the side. Looks like he mounted Doomsday on his wall. But anyway, he looks pretty nice, and we'll see how he looks all put together. But anyway, here we do have the armored version of The Dark Knight Returns Batman. And right off the bat, I'm going to say I fell in love with this figure. It is just so really nice and well done. If you're looking for an unbiased review, you're probably not going to get it from me, but I'll do my best to give you an unbiased review on this figure. Let's actually show off the one and only accessory he comes with that's dedicated to him, and that is his Sound Blaster. If you've read the graphic novel or seen the movie, he does use this against Superman. It just emits sonic sounds and, it made Superman's nose bleed. It has some really nice details on it. It's not painted, and to my knowledge from the graphic novel, it really was just one solid color. So I guess I can overlook that it doesn't have any paint apps. It does only fit in Batman's left hand, because his right hand is actually sculpted in a fist. But to put it in his hand, you just basically want to put it in like that, and then slide the trigger finger through the trigger guard, and there you go. And he holds it pretty well. Once it's in there, it's not going to fall out. If you violently shake the figure like I just did, yes, it will fall out, but if you're just displaying it, there should be no reason that gun falls out of his hand. So moving that off to the side, and like I said, I fell in love with this figure the moment I had it in my hands, and I just really love this figure so much. If you have seen any of my reviews, you'll know that The Dark Knight Returns is probably my favorite Batman graphic novel in the history of the world. So when I found out that they were making this figure and finally saw him in stores, he was an automatic buy on sight for me. But let's actually show off some of his details really fast. If we can get him standing up. We'll start off with his head and then work our way down. That's a really nice armored Batman sculpt, and if the camera will focus, we can get on to the review. Really loving this Batman sculpt. It really does look like it just jumped off the pages of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. You can see there's some sculpt work in his armor right here. It goes all the way around to the back. You can see the more panel linings. You can see all the rivets and folds in the metal. He has a really basic paint job, but as it stands, the way it was in the graphic novel, it's that's the way it was, so I'm not really too concerned about it. You can see some detail in the gauntlets there, and his gloves. And it's the same for both sides. His utility belt. Kind of wish he did come with that electrocuting attachment that he used to plug into the street light. And he does have the plates on his legs, going all the way down to his shin guards. He has the fins right here too. Even his shoes are textured, and unlike the Batman vs. Superman armored Batman, he actually stands really well. And I'm really glad about that, because if this figure could not stand, I would seriously write a letter of complaint to Mattel saying, why did you mess up my favorite Batman figure in the history of ever? And if you're wondering how he looks next to Superman, let's actually get Superman out here. And here we have the Dark Knight Returns Superman next to armored Batman. And as you can see, they look fantastic next to each other. Still wish he had the closed fist, but as it stands, really, really awesome display piece just right here. This is so iconic. If you're wondering where they ever got the idea for Batman vs. Superman armored Batman armor, this guy right here. So just really, really happy I finally have this figure. And I don't think he's actually seen an official figure form. I think he's been in statues, and the only way to get him prior to this was customizers. But I don't know, I'll have to check on that. His cape is a soft vinyl material, and then it does peg into his back right here. Something to note about this figure is that his chest piece is a soft overlay, so if you're familiar with Masters of the Universe figures, or even the DC Universe Guy Gardner, that's essentially what we got right here. And this looks like some imperfection right there. That's a little unfortunate, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Still love this figure. Moving on to his articulation, and that's probably where this figure suffers the most, is his articulation. He does have a ball jointed head. He can look up and down on that ball joint, left and right. Some side-to-side movement, but you're really not going to get too much play with that ball joint. But he does have a ball joint. Arms on a ball hinge go out to about that far. They don't go any further out. They do a full 360, not at all hindered by any piece of his armor. He swivels at the bicep. He does have a hinge in the elbow, but you're only going to get that much hinge in it. So it's really not too big of a hinge. He does swivel at the wrist, and it's the same for both arms. Now, I said that this is an overlay because it is. He does have an ab crunch, which, if you're wondering how his head is moving so much, it's moving on that ab crunch. So there is a torso under here with an ab joint. He does swivel at the waist. Let's go forward to about that far before this rubber piece pushes them back down. Back about that far. They go out. That pretty far out. He spins at the top of his thigh, not at the armor, so don't try twisting it from the armor. He is single jointed at the knee, which works pretty well. He swivels at that boot cut. He does have a hinge, but again, you're not going to get too much play out of that hinge, and I think what this figure suffers from the most is that his design limits his articulation. That's a little unfortunate, but I'm willing to overlook it because he just looks so awesome. So that's Armored Batman for you. So what I'm going to do now is get him posed for my final thoughts. Then we'll wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have Armored Batman posed for my final thoughts. Overall, just a really fantastic figure. I really do love this figure. And again, that's probably just biased because it is from one of my favorite Batman storylines. And I've been waiting for this figure for a really long time. But I actually found this guy at Target, so if you're looking for the Doomsday series, right now I know Carrie Kelly's out, Supergirl's out, and Superman Doom is out. Right now I only had the available funding for Armored Batman. I should have the other ones in due time. But just a really fantastic figure, really well done, and I can't say enough good things about this figure. The paint is minimal, but it works on this guy. If you want to pick this guy up, it is going to run you about $22, which is what you're going to be paying for Multiverse figures these days. If you can find him and you're a fan of Frank Miller's work, if you're a fan of Armored Batman or this style, definitely pick him up. If you're like me and you just had to have this figure, you're going to have him and you're going to find a way to put him into your collection. And with that being said, I'm King of Dragons 5000 saying don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, check out all my other action figure reviews, all my DC reviews. I try to have new reviews up every single week. At least 3 times a week, that's what I try. But anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone. My dream.